You don't want to address why you called Governor Romney's Obamacare.
Well, the issue that was raised in a question from a reporter was what are the similarities between the two, and I just cited President Obama's own words that he looked to Massachusetts as a blueprint or a guide when he designed Obamacare.
But you said you were asked a question, which is fair enough, but you chose those words. And so one of my questions is, why would you choose those words, maybe in the comfort of a Sunday show studio? Your rival is standing right there. If it was Obamacare on Fox News Sunday, why is it not Obamacare standing here with the governor right there?
President Obama is...
I can't take this any longer. Come on, Tim. You know, have some guts. You know very well that Obamacare is wrong and Romneycare was wrong before that. Why don't you just say that instead of trying to skip around what you said? Now, let's talk about some other issues. You, John King, you keep asking these stupid questions about gay marriage, don't ask, don't tell. What's wrong with you? Don't you know that there's 20 million Americans that are out of job right now? We're in 5 wars. We can't afford any of this anymore. And you want to ask about stupid things like gay marriage. Come on. And what about these guys that are losing their homes? What about that? Let's talk about those kinds of things. And Mr. Kane over here on my one side and Mr. Gingrich on my other side, they want to put in loyalty tests. Hey, read the Constitution. You're not allowed to put in loyalty checks. And while we're talking about it, do you remember what happened in World War II with the Japanese? Why don't we just round up all of the Muslims and put them all in camps? Why? Because it's crazy. You people are talking craziness on here. And then we've got Michelle sitting down here on the other end of the thing, jumping up and down like a cheerleader. Let me answer the question. I'll answer the question. She doesn't know anything. Romney is still stupid enough to think that he needs to check with lawyers before he goes and asks the Congress permission to go into a war. And now he wants to ask generals for permission before he takes our guys out of war? Come on, Romney. You haven't done one thing that makes you eligible to be president except that you actually probably were born in the United States. We need to look at what's going on with our citizens and how can we empower them to take care of themselves. We have this housing thing where the federal government steps in, bails out all of these bankers who, with the 6 guys that are standing on my left and right's permission, screwed the American taxpayers out of billions of dollars, while the American taxpayer is losing their homes, paying too much in taxes and property taxes. And even after all of that, they get stuck with the bill for the bankers that made the stupid investments to start out with. And then we've got a guy out in the audience asking about Medicare. Hey, I'm sorry, you got screwed, okay? But it's nobody's fault but you and every other citizen that allowed these nimwits on my left and right to run the country into the ground by doing things that they never should have been involved in doing in the first place. Medicare is not constitutional. And now that it's gone bankrupt, you're out there whining. You want me to take money from the young people that are coming up nowadays who had absolutely nothing to do with this monstrosity that you and other people like you created, and you want me to take their money and give it to you? What makes you special? Who's going to give money when they get old? No, we're not going to do that. We're going to reduce the size of this government, and I mean really reduce it. We're going to get rid of the Department of Education. We're going to get rid of the 5 wars that we're fighting in right now. We're going to close down 900 military bases in 135 countries around the world. We're going to bring all of the trillions of dollars of income that American companies have made and are keeping overseas, and we're going to bring that home by allowing them to bring it home tax-free and investing it into this economy. We're going to allow companies to hire people and not have to invest 1 penny in Social Security or Medicare for those people. It's not the company's responsibility, private enterprise's responsibility to pay for these kind of programs. Their responsibility is to run their companies responsibly and hire people and create jobs and make money for their shareholders. We've got it all wrong. We've got to change, and we've got to change now.